Hi Aries, welcome in or welcome back to this channel. If you are new though, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn the bell notification on so you're made aware as soon as I upload a video. As you continue to watch as well, if the messages resonate or you just like my energy, then definitely hit that thumbs up button. It helps not only with analytics, but also with being able to push the video out for other Arians to also find this space and channel and the message. So I would greatly appreciate it if you give me that thumbs up as you continue to watch. Or the thumbs down, and feel free to comment if, things don't resonate or you just don't like something about the channel. I'm open so long as the criticism is constructive. I am very much open to that. As I was shuffling the cards for you guys, the 10 of Cups did peek out. So let's see if it will come back through in your spread and what that can mean for you. All right, you guys have the 4 of Coins that came up, followed by the 8 of Wands, and the 6 of Coins. Bottom of the deck, you have the Hangman, the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Wands. Okay, the 8 of Swords and the Justice card. That's as far as I'm gonna go. I really shouldn't have even gone that far. But let me show you guys what these cards look like before we get into the message. Okay, so what's interesting about this spread is that before I recorded this video, I was talking to my man. He's not an Aries, but we were talking about perfection years. And so I am 28, as is he. And right now our perfection year is transiting through our 5th house. So that's where we're seeing the most changes in regards to children, in regards to romance, in regards to entertainment, and everything else that 5th house encompasses, and so as we age, with our next birthday, we will be going from the 5th to the 6th house. The 6 belongs to Virgo's energy. And that is all about health and wellness, right? So illnesses may become a theme during your perfection year if it's transiting the 6th house, and or your work, right? And your relationship to work, right? The value that you put towards the work that you do can be changing. And so that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Not necessarily that it's going to be the 6th house, but if you want to break it down that way, we have the 4, the 8, and the 6. So it can be in relation to your home. That's something that's going to be changing. You guys are needing to move out of your space because you are expanding, right? Your family at this time, Aries. Anytime I see the 6 of Coins, I see this as like a woman's ovaries. I don't know why. Just the way that it's just depicted, doesn't it just look like that? So yeah, you can be expanding, can be pregnant with multiples, can have a surrogate, and or that's just what's on your mind. Maybe you are maturing more in age, and so that is what you deeply desire to be, is a mother and or a parent, right? I try to be inclusive when I read these videos these days or read these messages, because I don't want non-binary people to feel like offended or left out, excluded, you know what I mean? I don't want any males who are in male-to-male partnerships to feel excluded, because you guys can still have the desire to be a parent. And so just know, I'm trying to do this with being the most inclusive, but yeah, that could be on your mind, to be a parent in this lifetime. And so if you are of childbearing age, you know that you only have a certain amount of time. Once you get into your mid-30s, then you're playing Russian roulette with your kids as far as a woman's reproductive system, and taking a chance on potentially having a kid that has some developmental issues, and or just as far as wanting to maybe have kids close in age to people in your family so that they don't grow up alone, and or you just don't want to be too old and too I don't want to say uninterested, but as you get older, it's just you're not as pliable. You can't go and do backflips in the yard with your kid if you're not in the utmost shape, or, you know, just again, if you just don't have that energy, that the same vitality as you do when you're younger. So that can be on a lot of y'all's minds. With the 8th house, it can be in terms of philosophical thoughts and ideas, things that are taboo, things about like sex, things about like your sexual interest, you know, things that again may not be widely accepted by the public or the community at large. And because you have this coupled with the 4 of coins and the 6 of coins, this can be in terms of like BDSM, right? Being into bondage, being into sadism or masochism. Like you may like being humiliated. I know if you have a lot of Scorpio placements within your chart, they may be something that you're into. You may be into as a heterosexual individual, just going by a very generic typing, right? If you are heterosexual, meaning male female type of dynamic, then it may be odd for others to know that you might like girl on girl foreplay and or just play when you watch, you know, PORN. And so that can be things that again they're just not widely accepted, or that other people just wouldn't believe that you would be into type of thing. Might be into pain, you know, inflicting pain on others or yourself in whatever ways you may do that, by clamps, by excreting certain fluids, by again being bound up by the humiliation factor of being yelled at or degraded. Like you may be into certain things like that with the 8th house, or wanting to explore that, or just overall exploring sexuality and what that means. Maybe want to explore esoteric knowledge, occult knowledge. This may be the first video that you see, you know, and it's like the impression that it has, like it may be something that is just very magnetizing to you, or you feel drawn to studying things about astrology, you know, to studying things about astronomy in and of itself, to studying things about witchcraft, you know, hoodoo, voodoo. This can go back to your culture, right? 4th house is the house that not only one yearns to build for themselves, but the one that one grew up in. So if you know that you come from a lineage of people that were practicing in some way, then you may feel called to it unknowingly. It can also be a subconscious thing. You may not know that you have relatives or family members that dabble in the craft, and yet you still find yourself magnetized to it, but that is why, you know. So there's reason behind whatever this period of transformation is for you. It can also be just a complete and total transformation, or wanting to transform your overall personality, your overall like reputation, your overall house. If you're not even moving house, just the house that you live in, you may have grown quite bored of, and so you need to be stimulated in new and different ways. So it's figuring out what you can bring into the home that can give you that feeling without you needing to seek it through other means or other people that will just leave you feeling quite empty in the end and just more confused. But if it comes down to like your gender, right, how you are being gendered or labeled, that is coming up with the 8th house. With the 6 of coins, and that being the 6th house, it can be again with certain illnesses, ailments that you've had, things that you've been prolonging. So if you haven't been to the dentist all year, now is the time. You know, you manifest better when you have proper hygiene, and so go and get that done. Some of you guys, you might have like an extraction that needs to take place because you've been negligent when it comes to your dental hygiene. Or this can be something where you have like really bad back pain right now that you haven't sought medical attention for, and so it's best to do it before it's too late and you have to undergo some type of surgery that can then put you out of practice, out of work for longer. And if you don't have the PTO saved up or the emergency sick leave saved up, you can see how that can pose a problem, right? This can be with work. Some of you guys, you might be wanting to go back to school or picking up some sort of trade or learning some sort of skill set or some sort of service. And in your profection year, if it's transiting your 6th house, you may find that you change jobs. It's a completely new direction here. That's definitely on the table for you guys. Some of you guys, this can be in terms of your 7th house, and I'm only saying that because we have the Justice at the bottom of the deck that I showed you with the 8 of Swords. And so some of you guys, your season of love with this person has expired. It's time to just, you know, get it over with, rip the bandage off. How much more of yourself can you sacrifice? How much more of your time are you willing to give to a situation that is completely dead? It's lackluster at best, because you go from the 8 of Wands to the Ace of Wands. There really isn't any passion in it. I was just watching Shambooty's video not too long ago about how you can ensure that you're in the right dynamic. And it's funny that we have the Justice card and you have the triangle here, because she was talking about how you have to have, for the most stable and healthy relationship, you have to have the 3 components that make up the more permanent relationship styles. So you have to have an equal amount of passion, an equal amount of companionship, and an equal amount of commitment. One without the other is going to result in a very different dynamic, which is oftentimes not going to be the most fulfilling, unless all you need right now is a friend, right? Then of course you have the companionship. If you just want a friends with benefits, then you have the companionship and the passion. If you just want like a working relationship, then maybe you have the passion and the commitment, right? Or maybe it's just commitment. Maybe you don't love what it is that you're doing right now. Again, if the perfection year is transiting your 6th house, then this is when you jump ship to follow your dreams, right? To go after your passion here. So if you're in a job that you completely hate, you just stayed with it because it's providing a service at the end of the day. Like, you can count on the fact that you will get a check. You know what I mean? And so that false sense of stability that it's affording you is what is keeping you bound to it. But you don't truly care, you know? So that's the thing. If you don't have all 3, then again, there's going to be an imbalance somewhere, and that's okay, because that's going to happen. Once things come into your life, it's a time for you to reassess. Like, okay, yes, I'm grateful I was able to manifest this thing, but now that I have it, and now that I've been able to involve myself in it and experience it, like what am I feeling here, right, in my heart space? Do I feel like I'm in a reciprocal dynamic? Do I wake up excited? You know what I mean? Is it what I thought it would be? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you get married to somebody that you feel is the one, you know, the person of your dreams, and then after a few years, you really get to see them for who they are. You get to see how you guys handle certain situations when they come up, trials and tribulations and obstacles that you guys have, and the way that each one responds and reacts to it. If you always feel like you're the one that's being left to deal with the pieces, you're always the one fixing the problem, providing assurance, reassurance, support, love, time, passion, you know, but there is no feedback system, then that's going to cause a disconnect here. Whoever it is that some of you guys are married to, you'd be better off as friends or work associates, again, because there's something within that dynamic, within the triad, that isn't being provided. And if it's not going to willfully and freely be given, it's going to feel like an obligation. It's going to feel like pressure. You know, it's going to feel like a chore. And when it gets to that point, then you know something has to change. Either the dynamic itself, the thing itself, yourself, or the way that you're perceiving it. That can sometimes be the thing too. Blocking the blessing because you think the worst of it. Too skeptical with that scorpionic energy, with that 8 of Wands. Too conservative with the Six of Coins, that Virgo energy. Too critical of it. Okay, doubtful of it. If this is about a project, you have with the wherewithal, you have the means to really be successful, to be a force to be reckoned with here. You have the means to do it. Do you have the esteem to get the job done though? You have the means, but maybe not the esteem. And so maybe that's something that you have to work on and reflect on at this time. Okay? Find like healthy exercises online that will help you work through the timidness that you may have, the shyness that you may have. Whatever fear you could have. Like, for example, if you're afraid of public speaking, the best way to get over that is to either enroll in a course and take a communications class, and or to get like your group of friends together and sit them down and just talk to them until you get comfortable with articulating yourself, or going to like an improv class where you're just making a complete fool of yourself, but that gets you comfortable in being in the presence of people that don't know you and have the power to make like a judgment, like a decision on the craft or the idea or the moment, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, not taking it to heart. Once you create your masterpiece, once you create this thing and you release it to the public, it's no longer for you. It's no longer yours, okay? You're an artist and you're sensitive about the things that you create. Yes, we all are. But if you know that it's good, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If you know you could do better, that's great. It's going to keep you accountable and make you work harder to be better once you release it and you get that feedback maybe. Or just being, again, your own critic of the work that you do in your evaluation process. Okay, well then what classes can I take to be better? Again, can I pick up a painting class? Can I go buy some books? Can I get some off of Amazon? Can I ask somebody for mentorship? Somebody that either you idolize and have access to, or just somebody that also has the skill set that just can afford that time to you to help you. There's always solutions here. Just actively looking for those solutions when you find yourself stuck in a rut. That's what's really going to help you, especially at this time. So I wouldn't suggest that you start a new project because Mercury is retrograde right now. Now's not the time for that, but now is the time for revision. Okay, now is the time to reprogram, to rejuvenate, to reconnect maybe with some people from the past, if that's what's on your mind or on other people's minds. To reflect on maybe some of the bitterness that you guys have been holding on to, some of the anger, some of the resentment, some of the disappointment. Figuring out how you can transmute that energy. Again, with this Eight of Wands, figuring out how you can transform it, make it work for you. How you can use it for your greater good. I feel like during Mercury retrograde, a lot of Arians, they're going to be tapping more into their softer side. So just feeling a lot more sensitive, a lot more receptive, compassionate, forgiving, loving. Again, just being touched by things. You might cry a little bit more at this time. Again, it's a release, a period of purification for a lot of you guys. Some of you, you're holding so tightly onto the things that you have that this new opportunity can't come in. So you're going to have to work on that. The possibilities are endless. That's what I'm hearing for Aries. So that's going to be the title. The possibilities are endless here. It's just how you choose to work with, again, these obstacles that come in, or these themes that you have to work through, this pain that you may have to deal with here. Pain is good. Pain teaches you what you won't tolerate. You know what I mean? So if things are coming to an end, rightfully so. You just, you don't have any more space for it. So just let it go. Let it fall and see what else comes in, right? So that's what I have for you, Aries. If the video resonated, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family. Again, subscribe if you haven't, and book with me should you need to. The details are in the description box below. But if I don't hear from you, then please just take care of yourself and soul until you see me again. Ciao.